Living sacrifice versus dead sacrifice. What God really requires. Today I'm teaching on one of the most misunderstood subjects in the entire Bible. The difference between a living sacrifice and a dead sacrifice. Most people read these scriptures in isolation, but when you put them together, Romans 12, Hebrews 9 and 10, Psalm 106, Psalm 51, Isaiah 66, Isaiah 57, and Isaiah 56. You see one unified message from Genesis to Revelation. God never wanted dead sacrifices. God wanted a certain kind of person. Let's walk this out. Romans 12, the living sacrifice. Paul says, present your body as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God. A living sacrifice is not about death. It's about obedience. It's about alignment. It's about offering your life, your behavior, your decisions, and your body to God as an act of worship. This is the restoration of the original Adamic pattern. Stewardship, obedience, and responsibility. Now let's look at Hebrews 9 through 10. The end of dead sacrifices. Hebrews explains that the old system of animal sacrifices was temporary. It was a shadow. It could never cleanse the conscience. It had to be repeated over and over. But Christ comes and offers himself once. Not as a ritual, not as a ceremony, but through obedience. Hebrews is telling you plainly, dead sacrifices are over. Living obedience is the new covenant. In Psalms 106, talks about sacrifices of the dead. Psalm 106 says Israel ate the sacrifices of the dead when they joined themselves to Baal Peor. This is the opposite of Romans 12. Dead sacrifices are pagan, empty, ritualistic, disconnected from obedience, disconnected from covenant. A dead sacrifice is a ritual without a transformed life. And we see this in Psalm 51. God rejects ritual without obedience. David says, "You do not delight in sacrifice. You do not desire burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit and a contrite heart." David understood something most people still miss. If the heart isn't right, the sacrifice is worthless. Then he says, "Then shall you be pleased with sacrifices." Meaning, the heart is the offering. The ritual is nothing without obedience. Now we come to Isaiah 66. God honors the humble, not the ritualistic. God says, "Heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool. Where is the house you will build for me?" Then he tells you exactly who he looks at: the poor in spirit, the humble, the one who trembles at his word. God is not impressed with temples, rituals, or ceremonies. He is moved by humility and obedience. And in Isaiah 57, we learn God dwells with the contrite. God said he dwells in the high and the holy place and with the one who is humble and contrite. Why? To revive the spirit of the humble. This is the same message as Psalm 51 and Romans 12. God's presence is not in the ritual. God's presence is in the person who is aligned. And Isaiah 56 describes the lifestyle of a living sacrifice. Isaiah 56 gives the practical application. Keep judgment. Do justice. Keep the Sabbath. Keep your hand from doing evil. God called this person blessed. This is the living sacrifice in action. Your obedience is your offering. Now let's look at the unified pattern. When you put all these scriptures together, the Bible is teaching one thing: God never wanted dead sacrifices. God wanted a certain kind of person. A person who is humble, obedient, contrite, just, covenant keeping, aligned with his word, living out righteousness daily. This is the true temple. This is the true altar. This is the true sacrifice. Now the final revelation. The old system of dead sacrifices ended with Christ. The pagan system of dead sacrifice was always an abomination. The prophetic system, the one God always wanted, is the system of the heart. A living sacrifice is not about dying for God. It is about living for God. Your body becomes the offering. Your obedience becomes the incense. Your humility becomes the altar. Your daily decisions become the worship. This is the covenant restored. This is the original pattern. This is the message for the remnant.